Mrs. Wages is helping me cheat. I'm gonna make some pickles. I have a ton of bread and butter in the pantry, and so tonight I'm gonna make some dill. I couldn't find this in the store, so I had to purchase it on Amazon. I'll throw you guys a link down below if you want to check that out too, but I've never made the dill ones before. I usually do the zesty bread and butter pickles from Mrs. Wages, but she's an awesome lady. She's gonna help me out tonight. And I'm just slicing these on the mandolin. I'm cutting my ends off first. Sounds like sunshine is coming to help, and we're gonna get this rocking and rolling, huh? You gotta
wash my hands.
Yeah, you might need to do that again.
Okay, that's like the worst job I've done doing this.
Good morning, friends. I am gearing up to make the pickles. I put them in the fridge last night after we sliced those up. So this morning I am just putting together my mix. It's super easy, but we had a good laugh that it's 3 1/3 cups of vinegar. So I've got that going in now, and I'm really excited that that is outside because this would stink up my house. And normally it would be very overwhelming in the kitchen to make pickles, and I don't like making pickles in the house. And now I don't have to, so I'm really, really extra excited about my outdoor kitchen today. Now I'm just going to pour this in. It's very yellow.
Wow.
Yeah. So this process is really, really easy. I do like to use pickling spices and make my own pickles with my own recipes sometimes, but today we are just in a crunch for time. We've got so much going on. We want pickles, but I don't really have the time to like let them sit overnight and salt them and like all the stuff that you have to do to have really good crunchy pickles from scratch. So I'm just using this mix. It's dump and go. I'm just stirring this till it dissolves. This will be the first time, however, that I'm using pickle crisp granules. I've never used these before. I'm going to try these for the first time today. We're going to be putting about 1/8 of a teaspoon in each jar. That's what I read online. Oddly enough, there are no instructions on this bottle. So I guess you just need your recipe to tell you what to do with this. So first time, my pickles are usually pretty crisp anyway, but we're going to try this instead of the process that I normally do and just see how it goes. So I have my jars hot. We're about to start packing those. I'm also going to be canning this burgundy okra. I have never canned or pickled okra. I can it every year, but I've never pickled okra. And I don't know if we'll like it or not, so we're just going to try it. I've got my hot jars here, and I'm just, some of these are really old jars, and some of these jars are only meant for water bathing. I want to show you really quick what I'm saying with that. So this is a tomato jar. It has no markings on the side. It doesn't say ball anywhere or cur. It's just a plain jar. You can also recycle jars, like from Honey, different places that you get different items. They're not canning jars, but you can use them in a water bath. Then, let's see, that's a tomato jar. This guy says cur. And this is a mason jar. It's printed on. This is for canning. It has to do with the structure on the bottom of the jar. This one has dots on it. It holds up to pressure. As long as your canning lid fits your jar, you can water bath in it. But you can only pressure can in marked jars. So it's just an easy tip. I am today actually using a honey jar that I'd gotten honey in, I think last year. We saved the jar. I'm canning pickles in it now. That's totally okay to do. ever breathed pickle juice?
What?
I said it keeps blowing in my face. Have you ever breathed pickle juice?
No, I don't do that quite that often.
It makes me want to sneeze.
So what happens if you leave bubbles in it?
You just should try to get your bubbles out, because then the water usually goes down. See, like it was a little higher. I had actually put too much juice in this one. So by taking the bubbles out, like the water's going to go down some. You also can't have bacteria in the juice because there's vinegar in it, but something could theoretically stay alive in the air if air is trapped in the jar. So I'm wiping my rim here. These lids do not have to be preheated, but they are clean. And then that is pretty. That is really pretty. In the middle here is our control. We didn't put the crisper granules in this one. We want to test out later on if that actually made a difference. We just discovered that we are 1.5 almost jars shy of having enough mixture. So I am making some more. The reason I think that occurred is because our jars are all different shapes. So I'm going to pour this in and stir it while I'm talking to you. But this package does say that it should do 7 quarts. It says it right there on the package, front and back, 7 quarts. That's what we have here today. However, we are using some very old jars. We're using a honey jar. We're using lots of different heights of jars. And while a quart should be a quart, I think that when you're talking vintage jars and jars that you're just reusing, you can't necessarily expect it to be exactly the same. Even if what you purchased said a quart, I don't think that that's always true. So we have lots of different sizes here, and I think that that's why. So we're mixing up a second package, but that's okay. We're probably going to need a third package because we still have all of these cucumbers. We sliced this entire basin full last night, so we've only put a little dent in it. I think it will be probably 2, maybe 3 canner loads of pickles. What that means, though, is that I shouldn't have to make pickles again. So, like, this is the easiest dill pickle way. You're just using a package. And in one morning, I'm going to have enough pickles probably for the year. Our second canner is going right now. We've got the timer on for that. After much debate, I've decided to take this little bowl because I don't want to run the canner again. I'm tired of making pickles. I think that 14 quarts is plenty. And so after much debate, we have decided to throw these in a half-gallon jar because I still have quite a bit of this mixture left. And I'm going to pop these in the fridge. And we will just eat on these for the next week or two. I feel like that's going to be completely fine because normally I slice cucumbers like this and I keep them in a bag, like a reusable bag in the fridge or a bowl or something, and we'll eat on these for like a week or 2 if I forget them. Like, and they're still fine. So I have no problem with using a brine in this, but definitely use your own judgment, do your own research, and decide for yourself before you just stick these in the fridge. But I am going to put these in this is just a clean half-gallon mason jar. I hope they all fit. We may have more here than I realized. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of this crisper mix. I've seen varying amounts for various recipes, but for today I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to pour my liquid. I'm going to mix it good so all that garlic goes in. Okay.
Didn't waste too much at all.
Right, that's perfect. So I'm going to debubble this and make sure to get as much liquid in here as possible. Push these down in here. Now I'm just putting my lid on, and I'm going to let these just sit to the side and cool off. And then later today I'll put these in the fridge. And we'll just eat on these for like the next 2 weeks and call it good.